let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
It was Thursday, June 6th, and the Yankees were wrapping up a 3-game set with the Minnesota Twins while going for their 8th win in a row and trying to maintain the best record in Major League Baseball. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet OddsJam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260-plus sports books, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code RECAPS for 35% off your first month. Link is in the description. Bet smart. Bet responsibly with OddsJam. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. If you turned off the game when it began to rain and there was a rain delay, and you're turning on the recap to find out what you missed, I got some bad news for you. Hence, no fun hat. Didn't feel like the right vibe for tonight. Despite the Yankees' 8th consecutive win, my mood is somewhat dampened because Juan Soto exited tonight's game in the 6th inning after the rain delay with forearm discomfort. My initial hope was that, it was cramped up from signing a new contract maybe, but not the case. Hopefully it's not an injured list situation. I was really anxious to watch him hit against Yamamoto tomorrow. That was going to be amazing. But all of this news made it impossible for me to wear the fun hat tonight. So this is truly a win that feels like a loss. There's a few of those every year, and this is one of them, at least until we find out more details. Could be anything. It could be just cramping, a little soreness, whatever. But the Yankees are notoriously conservative with injuries, and Juan Soto is notoriously durable. So the fact that he would actually come out of the game leads me to believe it's worse than normal. It might have been just some normal soreness, and then with the rain delay, it stiffened up, and they didn't want to put him back out there. That's my hope. There's nothing we can do about it but wait.
It's what it is.
What it is. It's what it is. What it is. It's what it is.
If any information comes along, please pass it along, especially the mods. This is one of those times I'd rather be watching the postgame than delivering it. But if he does go on the injured list, at least we have the Martian ready to go. He had 3 hits tonight in AAA for Scranton. He got pulled in the 8th inning, so he may be headed to the Bronx, although he has been coming out of the game earlier and earlier because of the defense. He's just getting back into the swing of things from his injury, so we'll see. Don't forget to call the voicemail show to give me your thoughts on this whole situation, 718-899-1068. All right, on to the baseball game. It is almost supernatural how much the Yankees have owned the Twins for the last 25 years or so. You had the Wells perfect game in 98. You had multiple playoff sweeps in the 2000s. And then you just completely dominated the Twins this season. And once again, they sweep, and they have won 8 in a row, but 6 in a row from the Twins.
We're going freaky! Yeah!
Wow, winning.
So 8 straight and a clean sweep of the Twins in the season series. And speaking of supernatural, 8th win in a row, and the Yankees have the number 8 retired twice, Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra. Today is Bill Dickey's birthday, and it's the anniversary of D-Day, the storming of the beaches at Normandy, of which Yogi Berra was a part of. So how can you not be romantic about baseball? I start working on the following year's show right after the season ends. So I take a couple of days off, maybe a week, and then I get right after it. And that's when I add all these sound effects and so forth. And that's when the win streak sound effect was created last October. And I remember thinking to myself, I wonder if I'll even get to use it next season, because last year was so bad, so disappointing. It looked like they were trending downward. But this year has been so great, and Juan Soto has been such a big part of it, such a huge reason why. And you just hope that he is okay and that he's back soon. Left forearm discomfort for Juan Soto. Didn't see any unusual swings. He did make a throw, but, it is what it is. Yankees are now 45-19. They are 26 games over 500. That's their high water mark for the season. And they are now 4.5 games up in the AL East because the Orioles lost today to the Blue Jays once again. Vladdy Jr. hit a big home run in that game. Judge was in left field tonight. They decided to try and give Verdugo the night off and give Trent Grisham some playing time. Grisham made the most of it, but Verdugo ended up having to come into the game to replace Juan Soto, so didn't get the day off. But, hey, while I've got you, reminder, tomorrow we're doing a watch party for Yankees versus the Dodgers, Yamamoto versus Poteet, so they obviously have the pitching matchup, but maybe we can pull out a win. It's on Apple TV, so if you hate the announcers, flip on over to NYY Recaps. We'll do a post-game immediately following the watch party with about a 5-minute break in between so I can tune some things up. But we are also on a mission for 40,000 subscribers. We're at 39,251 at this moment. If you are not subscribed, do us a favor and smash that subscribe button as hard as you can so that you can make sure never to miss another recap for the rest of your natural lives. Also down on the farm tonight, in addition to Dominguez getting 3 hits and pulled in the 8th inning, Spencer Jones hit a monster home run. A monster home run. I didn't see the distance on it, but if somebody gets it, let me know. That thing had a freaking motor on it. But we know he has power. He hit one 470 in spring training. So, all right, chat's filling up. We got 919 in the chat. Let's get to the recap.
Let's get it going.
So it was a back-and-forth game early on. Carlos Correa actually put the Twins on the board first with a solo home run in the first inning. Two-seamer that kind of went back out over the plate. Remember how many people wanted to sign Carlos Correa to be our shortstop and didn't want to wait for Volpe? This is why you got to be patient. Volpe is better defensively. We saw that tonight. He's got more home runs. He's hitting about 40 points higher than Correa, give or take. He's got a higher OPS, and he's way, way cheaper and younger and faster. And he doesn't have a chronic ankle injury. So sometimes waiting for those young guys to arrive is the right move, and it clearly was in the Volpe situation. Yankees answered right back in the second inning with a 2-run home run from Trent Grisham.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
Bullet shot. You knew from the trajectory off the bat it was gone. That race is average up to 0.75 on the season. He is back down to 0.71. But it's like the lottery. You can't hit the numbers if you don't play. Stroman immediately gave up another solo home run to the number 9 hitter. He just had a tough day. Too many pitches out over the plate. And you know what they say. Got to stop throwing those meatballs.
Time to stop throwing these fucking meatballs.
Yankees did bounce right back in the bottom half. Pablo Lopez walked Soto, walked Judge, 32 straight games on base for Judge, and Stanton in a row to load the bases. Gleyber Torres followed up with a chopper down the right field line for a 2-run double. That made it 4-2 Yanks. He doubled last night and got robbed of a second double last night. So that's 11 doubles on the season. He went 1 for 4. He's hitting 232, 650 OPS. So numbers slowly climbing, very, very slowly, a little bit at a time. Wells followed up with a sac fly. That made it 5-2. He has not been hitting much, but at least he still makes productive outs from time to time. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Volpe reached on an infield hit. Play probably could have been made. It was a chopper, and Correa kind of lost his footing. Made a decent throw, but it was not super accurate. It was a one-hopper. First baseman probably could have picked it, but got a base hit on it. We'll take that. That extends his on-base streak to 32 games as well.
More of that, please.
And then later in the inning, he and Aaron Judge executed a double steal. Volpe stole third base. Christian Vasquez threw the ball into left field. Yankees got their 6th run, and then Stanton ripped another base hit with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position to score Judge. That made it 7-2. I tell you what, Giancarlo has been absolutely money in those 2 outs and runners in scoring position moments this season so far.
Outstanding achievement here. The field of excellence.
Twins bounced back for a couple of runs in the 5th. There was a fly ball down the left field line. Odd play. Aaron Judge doesn't usually play left field, and they kind of gave up on it, honestly, thinking it was going to go into the seats. And it landed in fair territory, probably by a couple of feet, honestly. Stroman was visibly distraught. But hey, that's what happens when you play guys out of position. Let's take a look at Stroman tonight. He was done after 4 2/3 innings, left the game with 2 runners on base, and the tying run coming to the plate. Ian Hamilton came in and allowed a base hit through the wide open right side of the infield for the 5th run of the game for the Twins. Stroman, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Now through 13 starts on the season, he's got a 3.16 ERA, 74 innings pitched, 57 strikeouts, 31 walks. His ERA jumped from 2.73 up to 3.16, so almost a half run in just 1 outing. But any way you measure it, tough day at the office. Everybody eats a shit burger once in a while.
It stinks.
Grisham made the game 8-5 with a sac fly in the 5th, 3rd RBI of the game for him. And then the skies opened up. Rain delay for 56 minutes. And when it ended, we were greeted with the news that Juan Soto was taken out of the game early.
And you don't know what pain is!
For, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so, they didn't say what the injury was or why he came out of the game. People were speculating it was rest. I was hoping it was diarrhea, something not important, but turned out to be forearm pain. So we'll find out ASAP, hopefully, how severe it is and whether or not the Martian being removed from the game was just because of, him playing a lot of defense and not being quite ready to go all 9, or if it was because he's coming up to replace Soto tomorrow. I guess we'll find out. Volpe made a couple of terrific plays on defense tonight to hold the Twins at bay, and Clay Holmes came in for the 9th and picked up the save, and the Yankees win and sweep the season series against the Twins.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
Mark Roenbaum says, Soto getting imaging tomorrow. Well, we'll see. Boone says that Soto should be fine. I'd imagine that the MRI will be precautionary if that's what it is, an MRI. He did make a throw. Maybe he just wasn't completely warmed up. Sometimes you make a throw. Anybody who's played baseball before will tell you that occasionally you will make a throw that you just weren't completely warmed up for, and you'll feel just something kind of shoot through your arm, and it'll hurt for a little while. You can also get cramps. I mean, it's been hot recently. Professional athletes sweating a lot, things cramp up. I'm not super worried, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit worried. There's been so many times that the Yankees say, oh, so-and-so should be fine. See you in 2 years, right? Remember Luis Severino that one spring? It was, he got some slight back soreness. Didn't see him for the entire season, practically. Last year, Rodon, after his first start, he got a little stiffness in his back. Didn't see him till July. Take their optimism with a grain of salt, always. All right, let's go ahead and hand out the belt. Trent Grisham. Parks and Young says Volpe is a star in the making. Another good night for Volpe. Well, 1 for 5, but good defense anyway. And not swinging for the fences so much is fun to watch. Yes, he is embracing the role of a leadoff hitter. I think that's the toughest thing for young players is to adjust to their role, right? Imagine this. Imagine you're always the best player on your team, right? The star shortstop. You probably have the most power on your team, get the most extra base hits on your team. You're probably the best hitter always. And then you make it to the major leagues, and there's Aaron Judge, and there's Juan Soto, and there's Giancarlo Stanton, and all these guys are way more accomplished hitters than you are, right? You don't need to hit in the same way that they hit. You don't need to be a run producer. You need to be a table setter. And that's what he's embraced, and that's what he's doing really well. 32 straight games on base for the leadoff man. I mean, He never looked this comfortable at all last year. And now hitting .288 with a .796 OPS. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box score for tonight's games. We got over 1,200 people in the chat. Reminder to like and subscribe. We are closing in on 40,000. So Volpe 1 for 5. Yankees actually got out hit today, 10-7. Verdugo had a base hit even though he didn't start. Judge took the collar but did walk 2 times. Soto also walked a couple of times. Stanton walked 3 times, also had a base hit and an RBI. Rizzo, another tough night. He's down to 233. We've got to start raising the alarm a little bit about Rizzo. You know, the timing doesn't look good. The timing was bad last year. I haven't seen anything that would indicate, you know, he got roughed up, or I haven't seen anybody run into him. He hasn't fallen into any dugouts as far as I know, you know, to cause a flare-up of those symptoms of the post-concussion syndrome that affected his timing, but his timing doesn't seem to be right, and it's been wrong for a long time now. Torres 1 for 4 with a couple of ribbies. Wells 1 for 2 with a sac fly, couple of runs scored. He got called out on a pitch that was way out of the strike zone. Just another instance of an umpire completely inserting themselves into the game in the wrong way. Grisham 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs, and in addition to that home run, the big productive out, the sac fly there to extend the insurance for the Yankees. And aside from Stroman, the pitching was pretty much flawless. I mean, Weaver looked good. They talked about how his motion was kind of modeled after Yamamoto, which is something that we had talked about multiple times on this channel, is that he seems to be throwing with that same kind of no leg kick thing. It's like a almost a sweeping motion instead of a leg kick, like a slide step, but out of the windup, which is something that Yamamoto did. Yamamoto trains with a javelin. I don't know if Luke Weaver has started doing that, but Luke Weaver's throwing 97 with a sick changeup now, so whatever he's doing, it's working. Cantley worked into and out of trouble tonight. He gave up a base hit and a walk, but got a couple of strikeouts and had some nice help from Anthony Volpe on defense. And then Clay Holmes, 1.32 ERA so far this season.
More of that, please.
So I guess we'll find out tomorrow, what's wrong with Juan Soto. I wouldn't count on him being in the lineup tomorrow, which sucks because we are doing the watch party and so forth. But Boone says apparently that he has felt discomfort for the past week. Well, he's been raking for all of this past week. So, maybe give him a day or two if he needs it. But you hate to do it against the Dodgers. The main concern is that he's healthy long term. Yankees luckily have gotten off to such a good start that they are 4.5 games up in the East. So, if you drop a couple of games because Juan Soto's injured, it's not the end of the world as long as you get him back. Yankees now playing to a .703 win percentage. Just outstanding. So, anyway, Word Lifer says Ben Rice is dismantling AAA like he's been there, done that. He could be an option, apparently, at first base. He is playing some first base. I'm going to go ahead and pull up his stats. He just got called up to AAA. He was playing at AA, and I know he homered yesterday. And I'm getting a stupid pop-up at MLB.com, so I can't go look at it. Let me just pull up his numbers here. I know he's got a sweet swing. Seems to hit the ball on the ground a lot. We're going to share real quick. So far this year, between AA and AAA, he's hitting .274 with a .396 on-base percentage, 14 home runs, and 30 ribbies. Also 9 stolen bases, so apparently he runs pretty well. Although stolen bases are kind of, amplified in the minor leagues. Catchers aren't as good, and, with the pitch clock and so forth, runners just have a real advantage. Last year, he played at 3 levels. He hit .324 with 20 home runs and 68 RBIs. This year, he began at AA, 12 home runs in his first 180 at-bats at AA. And so far in AAA, he has had 6 at-bats, and he's hit 2 long balls, got 4 ribbies, hitting .667. So, yeah, I'd say he's off to a pretty damn good start. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 11:30 p.m. Let's take a few more questions. Wrap it up.
I gotta get out of here!
Parks and Young says upgrades needed at the deadline, first base and bullpen. I'd argue possibly third base also.
Game over, man. Game over.
So the Yankees are on pace for 114 wins, which was their 1998 record. Now, that team was on pace for about 125 wins during the season. They ended up with 125, including the postseason. I think they were on pace for maybe 122, 123. That's probably more accurate. Until they had a really slow September. Now, the Yankees got off to an even better start in 2022. They were just on fire, and they fell apart. Let's hope that they can maintain it this year. I'm not counting on 114 wins, especially if we lose Juan Soto for any length of time. There's going to be injuries here and there, but Soto is so important to this team, so important to the culture and the energy in the stadium. He's irreplaceable. So hopefully it's just a day or two, if anything, and we get him back. But, they've got a lot of great doctors there. They got, massage therapists on staff. They have hyperbaric chambers they can sleep in, and they got whirlpools and all that stuff. So, hopefully he gets all the treatment he needs and he's out there tomorrow against Yamamoto. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow. Yankees win again.